Hey everyone, LordDavon. Real quick, before we start this review, I wanted to talk to you about a petition that is going on over at whitehouse.gov that is to prevent the FDA from regulating or banning the sale and use of electronic cigarettes, accessories, and associated liquids. I've created a tiny URL for you. It is tinyurl.com / e-cig petition 01 2012 as seen here. Alright, to the review. Hey everyone, LordDavon here again, and today I am very tired. I just want you to know, before we get started, if you have an SLB Vapros V1 device, please contact your vendor and stop using the device. It has been recalled. That being said, I'm very tired. I've had a very long week, and it's it's not getting any easier. But I wanted to bring you a new Clearomizer coming out of Kanger. It is a new twist on the bottom coil, and I have a feeling this is the way they're going to be changing all their bottom coils. So let's get into it. This one is called the Kanger E-Vod. So the Kanger E-Vod is like a mini Kanger MT3 with a little bit of difference. It's 64.5 millimeters, whereas the Kanger T3, or the MT3, at least this one here, is 79 millimeters. That means that it's ever so slightly smaller, and it is a little thinner at the bottom. It has pretty much the basic design of the MT3, and it does inherit its issues. Those issues are it's ego-threaded, meaning that if you have a device that does not have ego threads, like the eVic has ego threads, if you have some of the earlier devices that don't have them, like the Clearomizer Z Max, they have a deep well, no threading in there. Now, many devices are coming out now with that threading, so I don't have them all. I don't have all the new revisions of these devices, so I can't really tell you which ones, but you may need to pick up a 510 to ego adapter. They're quite inexpensive, just usually a few bucks, and you can screw them into any 510 connector and have ego threading, much like an ego device does. And you just screw them on when you're ready. So let's get into the design of this, because I think that's where the biggest difference that we're seeing out of Kanger is. And when we unscrew this, we're going to notice that it does have the same base and it does have the same head unit, but with a little bit of difference. This base comes apart. And what you have is an insert. Now you have the head that inserts into the base, and the base is absent of any wick and wire. It's just a base. So now we're not paying for new bases every time we get a new wick and wire. So that's a good thing. It should bring down cost of the heads. So instead of spending $3–4 like some places are charging, it should be $1 or $2. Now the head is also rebuildable, just like the Kanger T3s were rebuildable and the VV Novas are rebuildable. They're not designed to be rebuilt, but they're easily rebuilt. They actually are a little bit easier because everything is open and exposed. There's no more having to poke stuff in to try to get things lined up. And I like this design. When you go to fill it, you do the same exact thing where you screw the head in like you do on a VV Nova, and you screw it into the base. You fill your juice up to the top of the center tube, place the base upside down, and screw it on. Now this is where the tricky part comes in, because when you turn this upside down, I don't know what's causing some of these not to prime properly, but sometimes they're not. It could be a quality control issue because these things are handmade. It could be an issue with slight differences in materials. I'm not sure. It also could be that when we're taking it from here and we're turning it like this, the juice is coming down and there's air pockets caused, little bubbles that can cause blockage. So just like with the MT3 and with the T3, you may have to prime these. And when I say prime them, you're going to do a few dry pulls. And the dry pull is this. You suck. You do that about 3 times. And then if there's any extra blockage in there, it's okay to blow. And when you do this, you'll see little bubbles rising in the windows. Those little bubbles are the air coming out because the juice is coming in. And that's what you're looking for. You can do this again a few times if you'd like, until it starts to flow. And then when it does, as soon as it starts flowing and the juice goes, it's consistent from then on. Again, I don't know the full reason why all of these are having differences, and like I said, it could be a quality control issue, it could just be that these need to be primed, but we need to get those instructions put on each Clearomizer, so I will be talking to Kanger about that. Another issue that we have with these, and this goes with placing it back on your device after filling. When you place it on a device such like the the eVic, told you it's been a long week. When you screw it on, sometimes the positive connection doesn't make a full connection. It's off just a hair, not even a hair sometimes, but it doesn't make a connection. Now, one thing to remember is that these Ego threads were not initially designed for Clearomizers and rebuildables, like the Steam Machine VST, which is my favorite. It was designed for aesthetics, skirting, things like that. And then they started using it more. But a lot of the devices, even when they used it, the 510 connector in the center was threaded. But this problem has existed for a long time. It's existed since, I've had people with the Vision Ego Clearomizers with Egos, and it just wouldn't make a connection one day. They put it on another device, it pushes on that center piece, it compacts it, and for a lot of us, we were pulling the pins, the center pins of a $100 and $150 device, a $30 device, but of their device. What's nice, at least, about the eVod and the Kanger T3 and MT3 is that you can take a pair of needle nose pliers or a pair of forceps, take something, and you can grab that center pin that's right there, and you can wiggle it back and forth just slightly and give it just a slight pull. Remember, this is only off a hair. And then when you do that, it'll make a connection. But you may have to do that if you put it on another device or when you're first getting this device. Now, what I'm going to be suggesting to Kanger is, and this includes the MT3s and the T3s, is to make the base just a little bit shorter. By doing that, I think they can eliminate this problem from their products. But again, once you've done that, you can take it on and off your device all you want. It's going to stay because it's making that connection that fits it. But if you put it on another device, and that device has a larger center pin, higher center pin, it's going to compact it up, and it's not going to make the connection again. You may have to wiggle and pull. That being said, once you get these things working, they are great. Now, I've had this one going for about a week and a half now. I've got it on my my mini eVic, which is just an eVic with a Joytech 18350 tube from the Ego T upgrade, and it's starting to go. I need to replace the head, but it's got the same good flavor as the T3. It's got the same vapor as the T3, and this one's going. It was better than this when it started. Of course, they start to deteriorate as they get older. I have been using this every day, all day. I love this thing. And I like the smaller design. I didn't think I would. I thought I would stick with the larger MT3 style, and I like the looks of these. But it does look like a mini MT3. But I thought I would like the bigger ones, but for some reason, just the smaller devices seem to fit my pocket better, seem to go about the day better. I do have to fill them twice as often because they're half the capacity, but that's okay with me. So the eVod is it's a good device. I like it. I like it. It has its issues. Every Clearomizer cartomizer has something. It's just whether or not you accept that. So now I will continue to buy these. Now these did come direct from Kanger, but as soon as I can buy them, I'm buying more. I'm buying a bunch of heads. I'm going to stick with these. Now, right around the corner, something to consider. The Mini T3 is coming out. Now the Mini T3, and this one is from Sun Vapors, we're going to get into in the next video. But they are the same size, and it is something else to consider. So you will have a Mini T3 and almost like a Mini MT3 with the eVod. So the choice is there as to which one you're going to go with. So before you run out and buy any, if you do decide to buy any, and take those cautions into consideration, there's something to think about. So that's the eVod. I'm LordDavon. Let them know I sent you.